Miss Nina.
Hey,
Hi.
how are you doing?
I am well. How are you?
Good, good. This is so exciting.
I am excited to also I apologize for being 10 minutes behind. It's it's my bad. We have a whole
Oh,
hour. Are you ready?
yes, no worries there.
Okay. Well, I had to go make some tea and go pee. So with that being said, I just to be TMI, I want to tell you honestly, there's no other good reason. So with that being said, we have a lot of stuff to talk about. I just pulled up your appointment. I saw that you're going to have a lot of questions, which is great. Ask me anything you want. Nothing is off limits and
Yeah.
nothing is stupid. Okay.
Okay.
Now, but I want to channel too.
Okay.
Okay. So I want to get these people. Let me first tell you a little bit about, sorry, I have a table over here now, and so I'm just leaning on it. Let me kind of tell you a little bit about what I do and how, I mean, you know what I do, but how I do it. And then we're going to really get into the thick of it. So obviously, number one, it is just going to be me. I am going to have this little notepad. You're going to see me doing like this a whole lot. I'm not taking any notes on you. I am just scribbling.
Scribbling.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. I get anxiety when I channel, so I have to let it go. Now,
Yeah.
the next thing too is that whenever I channel, you're gonna notice I'm not looking at you a whole lot. I'm kind of just like staring out in the space or this cute little light that I have over here. It's a way of when you see things, you're kind of seeing them. You're not seeing them, and so I got to zone out. Otherwise, I look at everything else.
Right.
The other thing too is that whenever we channel, this person is yelling your name in a funny way, okay, I'll tell you what they're saying in just a second. So like Nina, 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 um always be, come to her about anything. This Charlotte person just loves you. You can come to this person with everything, anything. She has her biases and her opinions, let's just say, just
Yeah.
quick to give them, but she's a good person. She says, I'll tell you exactly what's happening, exactly what's up. And I was like, oh, okay, okay. I thought she was going to be much more friendly and peaceful. She is friendly, but she has things to say. So we're going to get to this. So, she doesn't like people telling her what to do.
No.
No. I go, hold on, let me tell her the rest of it. She says, are you telling me to hold on? I was like, yeah. She's like, oh, okay, okay. Like this almost like confused look. So what will happen is that I get, whenever they talk, you have to remember that what we're doing is we are channeling somebody's consciousness. We're channeling their soul. They are here, they're just in a different frequency, almost like tuning into a radio station. Okay, that's
Mhm.
literally what this is. And so what we do is that there's not only different levels of where you're at. Think of like the spirit world as like a really tall apartment building or a really tall like apartment building or a hotel.
Mhm.
There's all these different floors, and everybody kind of knows that they all live in this building, but not everybody interacts with everybody else. Okay, so that's the best way to describe it. There's high,
Right.
medium, low, dark place. But whatever happens whenever they do come in and we do connect, they're coming through on your love. Okay, because they love you. They don't care about me. I'm just a tool in the shed. That's it.
Mhm.
But what happens is that I allow them to literally tickle my brain. So what they do is they'll come in and they will literally use my energy, and they will talk in four different ways. The first way is they give me a whole bunch of signs and symbols. They'll kind of like pop up like this, and I have to create a story on it, like a massive game of spooky pictogram. The next thing that they'll do is they will try to put me in different situations, or scenarios that had happened to them, happened to
Mhm.
you, or will happen to you, which is good for your near future. And then the last couple ones are that they will talk in feelings and emotions. When I'm talking to you right now, you're picking up my words, you're applying a feeling and an emotion and a meaning to it, and that's how you understand it. They give me all those feelings and emotions, and I have to apply words to it. So if I sit there
Mhm.
for a second, it's because I'm trying to figure out what that feeling goes with what word. Okay.
Yeah.
And you kind of have like a knowing. It's like, yep, that means it. Okay, good. And then the last thing is I get words and phrases like what's happening right now. They just show up in my head. It almost sounds like you're talking to them on the phone. And they'll answer back. It's very cool.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, remember too with this that like moving forward, that they use my experiences, my words, my thoughts, what I've seen to try to tell a story about your life or their life. And so maybe if they're in the hospital for, I'm not saying this person was at all, but maybe if they're in the hospital for like, I don't know, tachycardia, they'll go and they'll take things out of like maybe a TV show I saw or something, and they'll put them all on a line to tell a story. So I may cease to say some weird shit, but it all makes sense. Okay, so just
Yes.
hang out with me. I want to channel this person first, then we can get into another
Okay.
one. I wasn't one. No, you're not. Are you really? Wait, what? Are you a mom? No way. Are you? No, you're not. You're not. Are you a mom? Really? You have kids?
Me? Yeah.
You do? Yeah, really. Okay. Sorry. I wasn't expecting that. She like is in my head. She rolls up and I go, what is that? She says, first off, she's a good mom.
Oh.
That's all she said. And then I was like, I'm looking at you. I'm like, she's like 16. No, probably like 21 in my head. That's the way you look. And I'm like, ain't no way she has kids. And so I was like, what? She says that you try really, really hard. What? Okay, you're married right now, though?
Yes.
Okay, she's talking about you being in a good spot right now. What? Finally, which means obviously we had some toads coming in here as far as like relationships. She says that what? Can't find a good one these days. She's funny. She has all these opinions. Oh, she was what? Oh, did you like not have an actual wedding? Was it JP on this one?
So I had like a wedding, but it wasn't like
Yeah.
what the people have weddings nowadays. It was like in a church, and like it wasn't the best. And I've been talking with everyone
No.
at work, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna redo my like vows in like 10 years,
Yeah.
and we're gonna do it on the
Yeah.
beach and have like our own little thing there. So
Are you okay? This
yes.
is what she says. Okay, perfect. Oh, not only does she like bring up, obviously, you've been talking about this, which is kind of cool. She talks about this wedding. She says, oh, it was very small, it was very private. She's just talking about like a ring exchange. And so I'm like, oh, okay, it's just in front of like a judge or like just the peace thing. And she says, oh, but she deserves this. I go, okay. She says that, tell me one. No, she didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Did you? Oh, this is going to be hard. I don't know if I'm correct or not, or if she's talking about a sister or something like that. Did you have like a miscarriage?
Oh my gosh, I actually wrote that. So I have like a list. And so it was weird. It like I never talk about it, but I had two.
Baby.
When my husband and I first got together, it was way before we were like married. We were together for like 3 months, and we had 2 babies that like passed. So but now we have 3 healthy ones here. So
I know. Do you want what she just said? Did you hear me arguing with myself? She goes like this. And tell me if this sounds like her, because it's exactly how it sounded like. I said, what do you want to talk about? She goes, tell her about the baby. And I said, well, what about the babies? She says, but she lost them, lost the babies. And I go, she didn't lose. I said, no, she didn't. That's why she goes, yes, she did. Yes, like that. And I go, did you have a miscarriage? That's why I asked
oh
you
my
that.
god, that's crazy.
I know.
I've never talked about that to like anybody. Like that's just, oh my god, that's amazing.
I know. It's because she's talking about it. She goes, yeah, yes, like that. You can see her talk. She says that well, they're fine. Don't worry about them. Hold on. I wonder if one of them, you have a son?
No, I only have three
Oh,
girls.
so these are the sons then.
Oh my god, and I knew they were boys too. I knew because like they were so like early on to where like you didn't know the gender and stuff, but I always felt like they were boys and I wanted girls.
Yeah. She goes like this. She says, tell her we have the sons. I was like, okay, so just know it's a thing. So she has them over here. She says that they would be hold on. She says they'd be too rambunctious for her. She says, but I'm not saying that the ones she doesn't have aren't divas. And I said, oh, okay. She said, full of themselves. And I go, she's like, but no, they're sweet. How she talks is so quick. What? I'm gonna ask her things like what happened with her. Oh, what else is on there?
That's so
Hmm.
funny.
She's funny. She says that, tell me, she just mentioned dog. I don't want to bring that up yet. I don't understand. She says that she don't want to be around no animals. Wait, what? What does that mean?
Oh, is that?
Weird. That was her. Somebody talking about that. Did somebody have like a little puppy that was around her a
Oh
lot
my
or
gosh. So
something?
she had this dog and his name was
Yeah.
Rascals. And so I don't know like what happened. I think the dog got like heartworms and then my mom couldn't, so I think my mom was helping taking care of her and like couldn't like afford it. It was a
Yeah.
lot. So
And then we put
we
him
ended up giving
down.
the dog away, but the vet took it. So I think it's in like good care. But yeah, she had
It's in
this
good
little,
care. Okay. And it was a little dog, correct? It
yes,
wasn't a huge
it was
dog.
tiny.
Yes, this is what she says. She goes like this. She says, I go, what? She goes, oh. And I was like, what is this? She says, we don't need any animals around here. She's like, except for this one. And it was good. It was mine, like that. And I'm like, okay, fine. So she's like making note. She says that they didn't try really hard. Very disappointed in that. That dog misses her every day, apparently. Like that is a whole thing. She says that what? She spoiled that animal, apparently.
She
Like
did.
loves. She's talking about you can eat this. I'm gonna feed you, hand feed you and stuff like that. She says that what? Aren't they the sweetest? So what'd you do? She managed a family. I go, what'd you do? This just talking about what? You know what? What do you mean? She's very ordinary. She's very ordinary. She's talking about she loves you though, but talking to me, she's all sorts of opinions. I don't know what she's disgruntled about at the end of her life. We have to figure out what this is. She doesn't like breathing masks. She doesn't like what she's talking about. She doesn't like leave me in my house. Was it hard? Hold on. They put me up in there. What do you mean by that? Hold on. Did we have to like move her to a center for people to take care of her?
Mhm.
She
Yeah.
goes like this. She goes, I want to be in my house. And I go, oh, okay. She says they had to put me up in there. And I was like, up in where? What does this mean? And she's talking about people coming in and she says, I wasn't mean though. I go, I know. She says, she's giving me a birthday cake. What are you doing? It's like one of your daughters have a birthday recently.
Yes. Yeah. My youngest, and it's so crazy because my mom and I feel like my youngest is very similar to her. So we used to think that, oh, this is Aunt Charlotte reincarnated. Like we believed it.
Yeah. Well, it could be that she's working her magic through her. She's working her energy through her
They're
because
so
she's wanting to.
similar. Like it's so weird.
Well, no, what's the thing? And so she's like giving a birthday cake, and I go, what is it? Her husband, like, or yours? And she says, her daughters. I said, okay. She says that, tell me, how old? What? Somebody is in 9. Do you have a 9-year-old?
Mm-mm.
Weird. How old are they right now?
So I have a almost 7-year-old. She'll be 7 March 29th. And then the one that resembles,
6.
yeah, 6
Her.
now. And then
Yeah.
the one that resembles Aunt Charlotte, her birthday was January 31st. She just turned 3.
Okay. She
Mhm.
just turned 3. That's the baby. Okay,
Mhm.
interesting. Yeah, she's talking about them being little, and then I go, "How old?" She says, "Yeah, my son. I have a 10-year-old." And then they're talking about how younger than him, but one of them feels very mature in my head for some reason. So I'm just gonna leave that there. She
Yeah.
says that. Tell me about him. She's talking about dancing. That's why, like everybody dancing around. We like it. What? She's talking about maybe I mean, well, you have a 7-year-old. You have a 7-year-old. Stop. Maybe you're already trying to do the whole chore thing and helping or something, and it just doesn't happen because the age and she's talking about that, like just pick up your stuff or like pick up your toys, stuff like that.
Mhm.
She's talking about start it young. So tell me about this woman lives in your house with you, it feels like.
Really? Oh my
Yeah.
God. That's so
Like
crazy. I'm always thinking about her. I've always wondered if she was ever there. And I mean, she's passed like a while ago. So I mean, I
yeah,
didn't know.
yeah. No, she's been here. Hold on, let's figure this out. How long though? Has it been like 11 years? How long has it been?
So she passed. I was pregnant with my second child. My second child is almost 5.
Oh, okay, so about 6
Yeah. Yeah.
going over there. Okay. Oh, it's not too long. No, she would still definitely be around. Usually you start to see them fall off, or like starting to reincarnate or get away from you. Usually at about, I would say 20, 25 years.
Oh,
That's when
wow.
that goes. Yeah. But until then, I mean, they're around you all the time. And that's just because like a lot of their family, their loved ones start dying and then they start coming back together. She
What
says
about like
that,
friends too?
yeah, yeah, because you're all connected. You're
Oh
all
my
connected. Like we can
gosh.
go in it. Yeah. What we can, if you want anybody else to come through, we can do that. All I need is a nickname.
Yeah. What about
What?
Jonathan?
Hold on.
John.
Oh, that's the man. Okay, hold on. Give me a second. Give me a second. Let's talk to her and let's see if she'll help. I think she's offended that we want to call somebody else in.
I knew it. I
Okay.
knew.
She is. She is. She goes like this. I said, "Can you help me with John?" She goes, I don't know why we want to do that. She's like, I know that they were like buddies, or I know they were like friends, like good friends. She says that. Tell me. She's telling, I think Jonathan died in a stupid way. And
And it
I'll tell
was
you why. Don't say anything yet. Well, I'm gonna figure out why, because she makes a comment on it. I was like, can we bring in Jonathan? She goes, well, I don't know if we need to give him the time of the day because you know how stupid he died. Why were you being so stupid? Like that's all she says. And don't tell me
That's her.
anything. She has all these opinions. What? Tell me. Jonathan is in the middle vibration. Jonathan, his passing was very, very quick. His what? It almost feels like he just fell asleep. Did he end up having like an accidental overdose or something? Yeah. He's not in the same. So remember, I was talking about the afterlife being like apartments in different floors. So she is here. She's in what we like to call heaven. He comes in, and to me, he feels a little bit lower. Think of if I say the word happy, how that makes you feel, and then say the word sad, how that feels lower, right? So this is all about channeling. And so he feels like that lower. And so that means middle vibration. So for me, when I channel, I'm just letting you know how to do this. When I channel, I go or tune to that middle vibration and you call them in. And with the help of this woman, she brings enough energy to bring him in. That's the best way I can describe it. He tell me, and I go, what happened to you? He goes, oh, I don't know. And I go, what do you mean? And he shows me like a pill. And I was like, okay, I know what the hell this is. And then that for me is like overdose, or like we actually took something with almost like fentanyl in it. And I was like, oh, okay. And he says, yeah, because it's not IV where we overdose on heroin. It's the other thing. And he says that, he said he's trying. He thinks he's a really good guy, though. So he was a good heart. He was a good soul. That's what he says. He says, but this area, he's a little bit lower. He's not going to be as happy, BTW. So I want to let you know on that. He says, but I don't know. Did we cremate him?
So I don't know like what happened after
Yeah.
that. Like
Okay. Okay. Only reason he's talking about where's his body. Usually when they say where their body is, it means that it's gone like nothing. I don't think he realizes that he's fully dead yet. He says that well, he knows your husband.
They're friends
Mhm.
too.
Yeah, that's why. He says he's a good guy. He says that uh, he has a raspy voice in my head right now. What'd you do? We shouldn't have been messing around with that shit. That's what he said.
Yep.
He done it before though. He done it before. He done it before. He Where were you at when this happened? Hang on. Huh. I don't know if he died at home. I think he died at somebody else's house. Interesting for something like that. Um
Yeah, he passed in a car in
in a
the Walmart
car.
parking lot.
He goes like this. He says, "Oh my God, hold on. We'll get back to that in just a second." He says that he goes, hold on. He's talking and I can't talk at the same time. I go,
Yeah.
so tell me, where were you at? What happened? Who found you? And he says, man, I don't know. I just went to sleep. I go, good. I said, I bet you were in bed. He goes, no, no, no. I didn't pass in my home. He says, they found my dead body. And I go, okay. And he says, how the hell are you going to do that? So he's talking about other people coming up and like finding them. He says that, he just went a little high and look what he got. I know, bud. What? Was he gonna be a dad? Do we know?
So he had three boys or
Yeah.
2 boys. Yeah, 3 boys, 2 boys. Mhm.
He says
Yeah.
like this. He's disappointed.
Yeah, he was a good dad, and his I don't know what they were, that boyfriend, girlfriend, they
Baby.
broke up, baby mama, she was worried, and her boyfriend found him in the
They
Walmart
found
parking
him.
lot. And she was calling me. She never calls me. And I was like, like, hello. And she told me, she's like, he's dead. And I was like, oh my God. I grew up with Jonathan since middle school.
He thinks you're hot. I just want to let you know that. Sorry, I'm staring at you because I'm channeling, so don't think this is a weird gaze.
I know, he always loved me.
He does. He says she wouldn't let me hit that, like in a joking way. And I was like that. I just want to let you know he still feels that way. Because I asked him, I was like, did you have sex? Were you dating? What is this? And he's like, he wouldn't let me hit that. I was like, all right, well, he thinks you're hot at least. He says that he says that it's hard to compete. So he's talking about the girl that he was with, and I'm like, whatever.
Oh, Jonathan
he
was
does
like a
the-
brother to me. I could never.
I know. I know you can't. I know you can't. Exactly. It's just funny the way that they talk. That's why I'm like, well, because a lot of times when we let people in, we've had some sort of relationship, and they'll tell me like if that happens, and
Yeah.
he says that. Nobody's getting fucking tattoos for me and shit though. Nobody. Are you not going to? No.
Oh my
No.
gosh.
Are you
Yeah.
not gonna get a tattoo for him?
No. So in high school, when he got his little first tattoo, I like made fun of him for it.
Yes.
I have no tattoo. And now I'm like, I don't care.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. He's joking with you. He says, such a good friend. He's like, nobody's getting a fucking tattoo for me and shit. And I was like, okay, well, that's your problem. He says that. Let's see. What? Huh. Who's driving his car still?
Oh, someone driving his car?
I don't know, because he made payments on it, right? Like it should have like gone back to the dealership, correct?
I have no idea. So it's weird with his family. And I mean,
Yeah.
so with his funeral, I actually didn't go to it because they raised money, and they actually got the funeral covered by like the church, I guess for being like low income, but then they had this GoFundMe, raised all this money. He didn't even get a headstone.
Why?
So I'm gonna get him one day. That I told my
You need to.
husband.
You need to. Oh, he says better make it a big one. I want it to be black. Get him a black one. That'd be
Okay.
good. And hold on. He wants something that his kids can come see.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah.
Tell me.
you know, they were him and his baby mama was named Miranda. They were good people. They never did drugs. I mean, he would drink here and there. Like I would make him get drunk back in high school. Like this was like back in the day, like whatever.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
And
I did too.
and like he and like Miranda never drank, never did touch anything. And then one day they became like drug addicts, and it was wild. And then 3 years, like they lost their kids, like he passed away, like everything just went downhill.
That's what happens. That's what happens. And that's why he is in what we like to call this middle vibration. So he can move up, he can get out of it. So if you ever feel him, what he will feel like is maybe like a little bit of a shadow. Don't ever be afraid. You may get really sad when you think about him. Not the normal, like, I miss you, but just like, why am I feeling sad today? Out of nowhere. It's because that's the type of vibration he is. He will move up, he'll get better. But he's still processing and coping with what was it just like this past year?
He died, I guess, on New Year's, January 1st.
Oh my God. Okay. He goes like this. I said, why are you processing? He said, man, it's just like this year. It's just this year, like that. And I go, okay. He says that what? He just wants to tell everybody he's sorry.
Oh,
he's sorry.
Gosh.
He is.
What can he tell me to tell Miranda? Like, is there one last thing that I can tell her?
Yeah, let's see. Oh, there won't be one last, but and she's just dating that guy right now, right?
They just broke up, I think.
Good. This is what he said, and that would make sense why he said this. He says, don't let them treat you like shit. He says, you're a good person, and you know that, and you need to know that. Like, don't let yourself get down to that level, you know? He keeps saying, like, and obviously this is recorded too, and he's keeps saying like you're always in my heart. You're always in my heart. I'm sorry we didn't work out. But like that was his number one. He loved her. He did love her. He says he fucked up and he's sorry that he brought her too. So I think maybe he was the one that like initially started it or caused it. I don't know, like the downfall. Hold on. Does she not have the kids back yet? Yeah.
They're in foster care.
He says, get your head fucking straight. And I quote, he says, and get our kids back.
Yeah. And she's doing good from what I see. You know, she's staying sober. She's just trying to figure it out.
I know. I want her even like down the line. And she's going to tell herself a million things that she can't and it won't and it can't happen. And I'm just going to tell her to shut the fuck up and do it. Because I love her. Because it's that feeling. It's like I would really like her to go and either get a degree or start doing schooling in like medical or like drug therapy or counseling or something like that, like dealing in this, and then talk about how this affects your life, like maybe even being a person that helps people go through this, like, you know what I'm saying, and getting out of it. or maybe even like getting her like basic degree in nursing or like a 2 year, whatever that is, and then
Mhm.
going and working in a rehab center, like something like that, so she can have this consistent job and this consistent flow, and then she can get the kids back because they need her.
Yeah.
Okay. That is his biggest thing. He says, and when you're straight and when you're good, reach out to them. They're good people. So he's talking about you and your husband.
Mhm.
Mhm. I wonder if she's thought about committing suicide. He's talking about like, don't do it.
Oh,
That's why,
her?
or she's gotten really, really low.
Oh, yeah, like it's been bad. Like, yeah.
Mhm. He's just saying, don't do it. This is what it looks like. He paints me a picture in my head of her. I'm not saying this happened, but this is the picture he paints. Her sitting in the bathroom with like makeup coming down her face and crying on the bathroom floor. And then her sitting there and thinking about, if I just do this, if I just do this, it's all good. It's all over. Like, whatever. I don't have to go through that. And then he's standing behind her saying, don't you do it. Don't you do it. But it makes her more sad the more she feels him, but he's trying to pull her out of it.
Mhm.
So it's a little intense on this side. Here,
Yeah.
welcome to the middle vibration. That's what this is like.
Yeah, and I'm gonna deliver this message to her like right after this, just
Please.
and I know she'll probably make her day, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. It will.
Um,
Yeah. Tell me.
so something's going on with my grandmother. I
Mhm.
think she went to a cardiac arrest yesterday. So the whole family is, long story short, she's had cancer, and me and my kids flew up there last month
Is
to
this
go.
Charlotte's? Is this Charlotte's mom?
Oh, no, but I want to get to that. I hope we have
Okay.
time.
We will. We will.
But
Keep going.
this is my dad's mom. She hasn't died yet, and it's getting scary. I'm very close with her too, and she's in the hospital now. I don't know if she's
Yeah.
even conscious.
Yeah. This is what only reason why I asked is because Charlotte goes, she's coming. That's it. That's it. That was literally that. She goes, she's coming. She's on her way. It's okay. Like that. And I was like, okay. She's like, don't worry. And when they talk about it, usually it's like a member of their family, which is interesting. She says that there's like some sort of man there to greet her for some reason. I have no idea why. Because your grandfather, her husband is still alive, correct?
I never met him.
Oh, so he's been dead.
Which one?
Your dad's father?
Yes, he's
He's
dead.
dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's there. He's there.
Oh,
So
for my grandmother.
Mhm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Okay. So what happens is I asked her, so Charlotte in my head, she's kind of like our guide. And I said, is somebody there for her? Because when somebody's going to cross over, they're soon to cross over. I would even say in the like next 6 months to a year. What happens is that they bring other people to kind of show up, people that have passed on, to guide you and take you out of your body because it's a journey and you don't do it alone ever. And so I go, okay, Charlotte is like, is anybody there with her? Her husband. Oh, okay. Is he alive or dead? He's gone. And that's why I was like, is your grandfather dead? And that's why I said that.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
to confirm. Okay. So he's there with her. One. Maybe he passed very suddenly as well, the grandfather. Maybe he was just like
Mhm.
that as well. She says that, oh, he knows about this. One. Talking about going over the Rainbow Bridge. Oh, how weird. I've never had that reference in sessions. I would say what? Hang on. I'm asking questions in my head. Maybe you just don't have enough time to get to her. Let alone travel all the way with like 3 kids, 3 kids. What? So they ended up shocking her back to life.
Oh my God. So yeah. So yesterday, it was super sudden. So I guess she passed out and one of my cousins revived her.
Okay. She goes, your Miss Charlotte. I said, so what happened with her? She goes, brought her back to life, shocked her out of life into life. Yeah, it hurt. Like that's what she says. So that for me is like she was trying to pass and then it didn't happen. She says that well, we don't want to scare anybody. She doesn't want to scare anybody. I hope what? She just has a lot of medical issues wrong with her. Like the scales are not in her favor.
So she has broken both hips. She refuses life alert. She's stubborn. I don't know if she hasn't accepted that she's old and dying, and
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's like time. And I'm glad that we went up there when everyone was like, don't come up here, it's not a good time. But I was like, I'm gonna go say my goodbyes. I live in Georgia, they live in Montana, and it was the only time. So and
Montana. Oh,
my
wow.
dad's up there now, so
Really? Okay. Yeah, I would say that it's very soon. Very,
soon.
very soon.
I knew it.
Uh-huh.
I knew it.
Well, it's also because the husband's there, which is interesting. But I mean, email me and let me know just because this is again part of my thing of like this is what I see, with spirits and what happens. And so it's always nice to also get confirmation like, yeah, this is a thing, What? Hold on, I want to ask him one more thing. So she's on life support right now, though?
Something like that. Like she's
Yeah.
in the hospital. I mean, I'm not there. Like, so I don't really know. I just know that she's like, I had to make my dad go up there, like, cause he was supposed to go up there when we were up there last month, and then he got COVID. She doesn't have an immune system. So he was like, I'm not going, and then canceled his trip. And then now was going to go over the weekend. And I was like, Dad, you need to go up there now. And he was like, well,
yeah, good.
I don't know.
Good.
Like,
good. Well, it's because your spirit is running through you, telling you to tell him we're all connected. That's normal. And so just, yeah, I'm going to say, listen, God, I don't like to give these things. I would say less than a month. I'm even going to say way more conservative than that, but I don't want to open my mouth because it tends to scare people.
I think it's going to be like within the next week, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like I just have a really good feeling, and I've already planned it. And if she does pass, she doesn't want a funeral. So it's like, okay, well, we'll, whatever ceremonies that's going to happen, I'll go up there just like myself. And do you want to know what's super weird? It's crazy because my dad, so it's my dad and his two sisters. So the youngest sister quit her job to be the full-time caretaker, right?
That's good. Yeah.
My dad lost his job, got laid off, and then so did his other sister literally at the same time. And it's crazy how they both got laid off. And it's just like, wow, it's like, this is perfect timing for you guys to all go up to make it available to be there for her.
That's not weird. Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
There are no coincidences. And what you're doing right now is you are stepping back and you're seeing like how it's not random. They make this happen. Otherwise, what would happen if they're working, and then she passes, right? Because they can't go there. They're going to have and harbor this guilt for the rest of their lives because they're going to be their own judge and jury. So because this little inconvenience of like being laid off, now they can go and have closure for the rest of their life with their mom, which is what we need. Okay. So yeah, no, Charlotte is good. Jonathan is good. What other questions do you have for me, or who do you want me to go into, or tell me?
So
babies are good.
There's babies, and there's one other person that I haven't had a lot of people pass like in my life.
Oh yes, okay.
Recently, Jonathan, and then Aunt Charlotte, and then there's one more person that was close to me. His name was Ryan, and we were friends in high school.
Oh, don't tell me anymore. Hang on, just give me a name and we're gonna bring it through. Hang on. I wonder if what Ryan's fun. Ryan's lighter.
I was just
yeah. So Ryan's fun and light. This is the way Ryan just showed up. So it's not sad. He's like, like that's how this person feels. Like he's quirky. He's very cool. He's strange in a good way. No, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call you that. Hang on. What happened with you? If you saw him, you'd be like, oh my God, Ryan. You go up and give him the biggest hug. That's what he's talking about. He's running towards you too. What I'm going to see like what happened with him. So that's his energy. He shows up. He feels different than Jonathan, if you can tell. He says that what happened to you? I don't know why you're so happy. So here's another thing. When they show up this happy, sometimes that makes me suspicious. And I'm like, are you really being this way? Or are you trying to show me because you're afraid of telling me about something else? There's two things. I'm just walking you through how I channel that, but you can have a better understanding of it. What happened? Big memorial for Ryan, apparently. Big freaking memorial. He's talking about being very tragic. Did he die in like a motor vehicle accident? Like taking his life away? Boom. What happened?
He shot himself.
He shot. Oh, boom. Oh, there you go. Yeah. He goes like this. I go, what happened with you? He goes, boom, out, gone. And so that makes sense. He says, and he makes me hear this big pow in my head. And so I'm like, either that's a car. And that is why he is coming through very happy and excited, because sometimes when we do this to ourselves, it's hard for us to talk about it. And so we have a false sense of happiness to try to show everybody that we're okay. Sometimes they are okay, but other times I end up talking to them in a dark room and they're sitting on a chair with like a single light over their head. So I don't know. Hold on. So that's why I said he's really happy. This makes me suspicious. You see, he says that. You're not manic. Maybe you are. Weird. I wonder if he killed himself because of somebody else. Interesting. He's saying that it's almost like I did this like in spite of something, or I did this because of somebody. I wonder if it's like a relationship thing. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. He references this feeling of I was not in my right mind. I was living in a feeling, and I did this because somebody else hurt me, and like I was trying to hurt them, or like I didn't care. He says that what? He didn't even make it to 21. Was he like 18 or 19? How old was he?
Yeah, he was like 19.
19. Okay. 19, yeah. Because he's this fun, goofy kid in my head, and he tells me that he couldn't even drink legally yet. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. He says that what? He likes to play with your kids. He's playing with your sons in my head too.
Oh my
God. He's a happy, it's interesting. I don't necessarily think he's in the lower or middle vibration. I think he may be a little bit higher. I think that since this has been a while, he's had a chance to deal with it, cope, and understand. And he's a very helpful spirit. So he helps you. He helps your kids. He helps you with these babies. He takes care of, like, he's this helping spirit. And what I have found in the afterlife is that when we do something like this, and we take our own life away, and it causes so much drama, detriment, and sadness and sorrow in everybody else's life, we have to make up for that. And so we end up like being a guide, and we help other people that are living to kind of like give us our karma back. That's the best way I can describe it. And so I would feel like maybe you feel him around a lot, or you think about him way too often for him just being like that. Yeah. And it's because I think he's like part of your team or your guide team.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I always used to go to his like gravestone and just sit there. It's so weird. Like I don't know what it was with Ryan, but I just loved him. Like he's so awesome.
Y'all are connected. It's because y'all are connected. It's because he's part. Best way to call it is like part of your team that helps you. So this is his karma. This is what he has to do. You see, we have our life lessons we have to learn here, and if we don't learn them here, we take ourselves out, we still have a chance to learn them over there.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what he's doing. So he would be a good person to, if you're having troubles, if you're emotionally feeling trouble, if you are having anything health wise, if you're really concerned about your kids, just say, "Hey Ryan, I'm having a concern about this, da 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 da. Can you help me out?"
Yeah.
Okay. They will help you if you ask them.
Oh, wow.
What? Yeah, it's a thing. Hold on. Do you live out in the country? No, you don't. Are you buying and building a house? Why are you not doing that? When are you going to get land? I really want you to live in the middle of nowhere. I have no idea why. I know you don't. You don't have an above ground pool. Um, what does that mean?
So
What?
so I live in Atlanta now. Like I
Oh,
love the
you're
city.
Georgia.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love the city. Love it, love it, love it.
Yeah.
And we grew up here. And Ryan and I we grew up like 45 minutes away from the city. We wore camo jackets. When we were younger, it was like, oh, we want to go mudding and we go frog
Yes.
gigging.
Yes.
I was this fake country girl.
Oh, is that what that is? No. It's okay. Yeah, this is what he shows me. He just made me see boots, muddy boots, property, like owning a horse. And I'm like, they don't have that. And then he shows me, like, in backyards that are in the country, they don't put in pools, they have above ground pools. Like, that's what this is. Now, it could also mean that that's what he's trying to do. Like, that's his version of having fun. Oh, what? He just joked about going and special treat. So wait, so going and doing your nails and your toes is a special treat, even though you live in the city? Okay, cool. He goes like this. He's talking about, oh my God, girl, look, we're gonna go get our nails and our toes done. And you're like, oh my God, this is a treat. He's like, I'll be with you. Like, he's just joking about it. So he's with you. He says that, yeah, what? We named something Ryan. What did we name Ryan? Hold on. Did we ever like have a teddy bear and named it Ryan? Doesn't make any sense. Or I wonder if they passed out teddy bears of him. I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. This is what he showed me. Teddy bear, Ryan. That's it. And I'm like, there's no shirts involved. There's
I mean,
no
he
name
was a
tags
teddy
involved.
bear though. Like
Was he a teddy? Was he?
I mean, he was just the sweetest thing ever.
Yeah, that's he may be referencing that they thought he was a teddy bear as well.
I mean,
Like, there's nothing else in
he's the
that.
sweetest guy ever. Like,
Yeah, he's a really, really good person. He says that. Let me ask him two more things. What, bud? What? Your Aunt Charlotte will allow Ryan with her. Not so much Jonathan though.
mhm.
One. Aunt Charlotte is in a wheelchair and Ryan is pushing her around. And he just doesn't appreciate that. Like, that's what's happening in my head right now.
That was Aunt Charlotte. That was me. I'm always pushing her around Walmart. So, long story short, like when Aunt Charlotte lived in my mom's house, I took her to bingo, and she broke her ankle, and then she had diabetes and couldn't heal it, so they had to cut her leg off.
Oh,
she's missing a foot because of me. But we always laughed about it and
no, so that's why. Okay, so you see, they're bringing up all this stuff. They said that. What? Tell me. Oh, how weird. Yeah, he's trying to show signs and symbols. What? Leo, August. No, that's April. Who's the Leo?
My Lola. That's my middle child. She was born in August. She's a Leo.
A Leo.
And I can't figure her out. Like she's a different type of soul.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, he's talking about that. I said, so what do you do? He says, Leo. And I was like, okay. I said, August. So he like takes care of her.
Oh,
that's her child. Okay. That's her child.
She's because she's, I don't know, like she's a little different. Like I used to think, was she on the spectrum? Like what is, but she's not. I've like asked the doctor. She's a very happy soul. Like it is like
really okay.
Very happy soul.
Let me look at, while we're here, I want to look at, and then we're going to go into Q&A and everything. Hang on. Because of this, I want to look at her chart, and I will tell you mine if you tell me hers. So my birthday is November 7th of 1988. When is Lola's?
August 17th, 2018.
Oh, she could be a very good business minded. So 2018. And then I was born in Houston, Texas. What about her?
She was born in Atlanta, Georgia.
Atlanta. Okay. So all this is about energy, how we perceive and how we view the world. And this will kind of like help me. You know what? I'm I'm not saying, but I am saying that maybe down the line, look at it, she could be autistic.
Oh no.
No, no,
And
no,
I
no.
always felt it though. Like I always said there's something different about her. Like it, because I have two other ones. So it's like
Yeah.
I don't want to say like they're normal, but it's just like they're like normal. But
Yeah.
Lola's a little, I don't know,
Yeah.
like
Okay, well let me tell you why. So in this whole chart thing, it's not about astrology and oh my god, a house or anything like that. It's about how over the last 15 years I've charted patterns on who would be, most likely to commit suicide. Like if we are having bipolar depression, you can even see in this area, like if somebody is more apt to like Asperger's or what do you call it, autism, and you can kind of see that spectrum. And what I've seen is that there's a consistent thing of it being a fire sign and then a water sign next to one another. Fire is very zesty and up and spicy, and water is very deep and intense and emotional. And her first two, one is a Leo, the next one is a Scorpio. So Leo is happy and proud and light and bubbly, but Scorpio gets really frustrated because it may not always know how to express these emotions, or it's very intrinsic. Or another thing, it's like we may be so happy because we're not dealing with everything on the inside, and it can be really, really hard. So we kind of just like mull it over. Obviously, we won't know this until later, right? As we age. But I find this very common with kids or people that have autism. Very, very common. And it's because there's this level of excitedness, but not being able to express it all the way. And so either we live in this world of like, da, 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 or we live in this world of like, I just want to be by myself. And that's going from high functioning right to low functioning. That
Mhm.
the other thing too is that her Venus, how she wants to be loved and how she gives love in return. Be very sensitive with this child because her Venus is in Libra, minus two. This means she's always going to try to make everything okay. She's going to try to balance everything. How do I
Mhm.
act? How do I look? How does this? She's
Yes.
always going to, yeah,
Always
she's
like
going to try to
always
be,
dressing up, always,
uh
mommy, do you
always.
love me? Asking me 100
Yeah.
times. And then I'm like, am I not being good?
No, no, no. You have
Mom.
to. No, no, you do. Let me tell you why. Leo in this place, her communication style and her outer personality is in Leo. They wear their heart on their sleeve. And so if somebody tells them they're ugly, they take it and they suck it in. So one of their love signs is words of affirmation. I think you're such an amazing girl. You are so good. Now, the next thing is that her moon, her emotional side is in Scorpio, which means her mother is the biggest thing. And she needs a lot of nurturing. She needs a lot of love. Like, never say, you just go to your room, because that literally will scar her for her life. Because
Yeah.
she could end up wanting to look for love in other places besides her family, if you get what I'm
Yeah.
saying, because
Yeah.
and then she'll like tuck that away. Another thing is her Venus is in Libra, so she has a really light, airy heart. It's like, can we just talk about it? Like, oh my God, mom, thank you so much for this beautiful bottle of perfume. I will cherish it forever. Like that.
Yes,
Like,
that's her.
okay, gifts are a big thing. And so that's how you'll get to her heart. Also, because she has her Venus in Libra, she can love food, love sweets, love candy, love and be so obsessed with it that it'll make her
She
sick.
eats snacks all day. I don't know what it is. She'll eat dinner, snack, dinner, snack, dinner, snack, snack,
Snack.
snack, snack, snack,
Uh-huh.
sweet, sweet, sweet
Hmm.
snacks. Mommy, can you pack me extra snacks today? Like
Yes,
in my
yes.
bag.
Yeah, that's what this is. It's all about the love is in her tummy. So buy her a really good cake, and it's great. Now the other thing too is her Mars, her masculine side, her drive in life. She's really good if she owned her own business or did her own thing, because it's in Capricorn. So she's stubborn AF. She wants to please, but she wants to do it her way. She want
Yeah.
like and so FYI, give her things to do that are like make sure you get her into art. Make sure you get her into building. Do something in like pottery. I know that sounds really weird, but like get her into something that she can express her soul on, be very creative, and allow people to be proud of her for it.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a very big thing for her. The other thing too is that her Jupiter, so how she gains her luck in life, is in Scorpio. So having this more intense, deep spiritual connection and like love of things, she's very like, oh my God, everything's kind of connected, which is great. We want that. The other thing too is that her North Node, what her soul is trying to become, is in Leo. So what this means to me is that through her life, she's going to struggle with the ability to know who she is. And she's going to see the viewpoint of herself through other people, and it will be reflected back to her negatively. And so she'll have to realize how to say, no, fuck off. It's my viewpoint of myself. That's all that matters. And so guess who's going to be the lead person in her life to tell her that? You.
Yeah.
Okay. So make sure you harbor that. Also, if she ever wanted to be, all my celebrities, my actresses, all that, they all have all these placements. And so, God, you get her on stage.
Yeah.
She'll be a little shy at first, but push it.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
and that's how I feel with like her. Like the other two are way different than she is.
Yeah.
And then I didn't know if it was her or if it was my other kids, because my other kids, I don't know, like I
Well,
worry about the others.
Do you want me to look at them?
Yes,
Real
please.
quick? Okay. And then, give me the first one.
The oldest, her name's Summer, and her birthday is March 28th, 2016.
She's an Aries. Okay. 28, 2000. And then do you know Atlanta as well?
Yes.
Okay, hold on. 2016. Yeah, I did this for my entire family. And I was like, oh, this is how I love you. And it works out so well. Hang on. Okay, and then what about our other one?
She was born January 31st, 2020.
Okay, cool. Hang on. And then same place, obviously. Okay, here's our little 3-year-old. Sweet babies. Wow. You're no kidding. Wow. The baby is going to be super smart.
Oh my God, she's intelligent. It's crazy. She doesn't talk, but she's like, she will hear, and I'll be like, hey, I'll talk to Sean. Hey, Sean, Sean's my husband. Let's just say, go get me like the hairbrush. She'll come back with it like out of nowhere.
Yeah, she's all about communication, learning, studious. This is a very bright mind. You need to keep her on the right track. Okay. Definitely need to. She's Aquarius and Sagittarius. It's all about talking, communication. Get her into programming, get her into art, get her into like graphic design, stuff like that. Like that would be really good for her. Her North Node is also in Leo, which is interesting. Her Mars, her masculine side, is in Pisces, which means she may be a little bit of an introvert. So she's really, really smart, but she's going to be more introverted, and that's okay. The other thing too is that her, she may be. Don't think this is a bad thing. She may be so smart that she may be very complacent and lazy and get fat, and that's okay. But I just want to let you know, especially in the younger years, because they get very comfortable with themselves. So push her, get out there. But if you see her start to withdraw and like only being on a tablet or only being on a computer, put art in front of her, like get her into like this mental graphic area, and she's going to do this. But if you think she's a couch potato, she probably will be a couch potato, and that's okay, because all that mental power is a big thing. We have to sacrifice one thing. Okay. And that's okay. Whereas your other one, your first one, your oldest, that is all physical. We need to get her in dance. We need to get her in sports. We need to get her in all sorts of shit. Why? Because she's an Aries. Now her moon is in Sagittarius, so she can be very, very competitive. Her communication style is an Aries, so it's like, I'm gonna win. Fuck off. And then her Mars is in Sagittarius as well, so it's competitive and running and active and like all that. And then her Venus is in Pisces, which means she really puts her heart into it. So if you can get her into anything physical, dance, soccer, do it.
Yeah, we're in tumbling and gymnastics and swim now, but I feel like she's almost lazy. Like
she can be,
like extremely.
Yeah. Well, she can be. She can be. And the reason for that is because her Lilith, her shadow side is in Libra. So it's all about excess, being lazy, eating, like just rolling around, just saying, "Oh my God, I love the way things feel." That's her shadow side. As you're a child, you're growing up and you're trying to push that away. So that's what the parents are for. Okay. So get her into competition. She will do well.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you have a good little bunch, and I look
Oh,
forward
good.
to it. And you have some really nifty people that
Mhm.
are around you. So for right now, because I also have other sessions too, but do you
Mhm.
have questions, anything for me before we go?
Just one last thing is super quick.
Yeah.
Why did I miscarry? Like, why was I not ready? That's the last question.
No, you're fine. So, with that being said, I think one of the reasons why you miscarried is because, well, number one, we were supposed to have the girls. Okay, we're supposed to have the girls. If we would have had the boys, it would have been a lot different, right? The other thing too, I think, is that because you miscarried, this is what I find down the line, because you miscarried, you valued these other pregnancies more. You
Yeah.
see? So you valued the connection more. So maybe if you hadn't had miscarried, you wouldn't maybe value it as much, or you wouldn't have been so much in that sense, right? And so now, so remember, everything's about teaching a lesson. So their soul never actually went in their body, but they were planning for it. And so now they're your little angel babies that
Yeah.
hang out. But everything that we do teaches us a lesson. And it wasn't because you weren't meant to have them. They were part of your kid's last life, but it's so that you can learn and value your kids and love in this one, the ones you have now.
That's amazing.
Okay. So yeah. So this is what I want you to do right now. I want you to take a couple minutes. I want you to have either a good breather or a good ugly cry. Both those are very important. And then tell each one of these people that you love them and thank you for coming through.
I will.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay. And if you need me, let me know.
I will.
All
I
right.
will. I really
Okay.
appreciate it.
Anytime, sugar. I love you.
You too. All right.